All right, shalom, shalom. We give our praise up and now. Yahweh Bashem Mashak Yahushua, Bashem Kakadash. Peace and blessings to all the blood ones baptized in the new covenant for remission of sins, man. All right, and today I want to bring out a quick lesson from the book of Titus. All right, which, as you can see, first and foremost, before I go into it, the book of Titus is an epistle from Paul. Paul is writing to Titus, man. Okay, so let's get that. Right, Paul is writing to Titus. It says, Titus 1:1, Paul, a servant of God, an apostle of Jesus Christ, Mashak Yahushua, according to the faith of God's elect, and the acknowledging of the truth, which is after the godliness. See that? You got to acknowledge the truth, which is after godliness. And we know the truth is what? The Most High's commandments, man. The patience of the saints. All right, which is Hamashak Yahushua manifested in the flesh. Okay. So Paul says that he was a servant of God, an apostle of Mashak Yahushua. And now let's show that Paul was writing to Titus, because that's the point. That Paul wrote this letter to Titus, and Paul quoted the law of Moses in this epistle, man. See that? If brothers keep saying this, the new covenant has nothing to do with the law of Moses, you got to really be able to prove it, man. You can't just be, uttering stuff and not able to prove it. Even Paul says, prove all things, man. And as we can see, Paul wrote this letter to Titus, which I'm about to get it in verse 4. And that Paul tells Titus the same thing Peter says. He called them a peculiar people, man. He told Titus that in his Gentile state, man. All right. So, hey, we can quote Moses and tell our people they're peculiar, man. It's not a sin to tell your brother he come from a peculiar people, man. And Paul showed this in the new covenant. This is Titus chapter 2, verse 14. Titus chapter 2, verse 14. This is Paul's epistle to Titus, man, as I showed in the beginning. Right? Paul is writing to Titus. And this is what Paul tells Titus in this epistle in the new covenant, man. It says that who gave himself for us, he's talking about the Lord Yahushua, right? That he might redeem us from all iniquity and purify unto himself a peculiar people, zealous of good works, man. You want to do good things, do righteousness, man. Paul called them a peculiar people. So Paul was quoting from the law, all right? Because the law refers to God's people as a peculiar people, all right? Those that are in the Lord and his covenant. Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 2, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord have chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all nations that are upon the earth. So the Lord said that Israel was a peculiar people in the law, man, right? Meaning his chosen nation to teach the laws and statutes and commandments, man, to the earth, right? Because that's what the Israelites' job is, to teach the whole world the law. That's why in the kingdom, the Israelites going to be teaching the Gentiles the law. Right? And if the Gentiles don't want to keep the law, they get punished. Like the damn Canaanites in the book of Zechariah, man, if they don't want to keep the Feast of Tabernacles, man. Okay? So that's what it's supposed to be. All right? The Jewish people is not teaching us nothing, man. All right? They ain't giving us nothing. Okay? They haven't taught us this word, man. They didn't teach us the law. All right. But, that's what it's supposed to be. The Israelites are supposed to teach the God's commandments, teach you how to be holy. Okay. And what? He called them a peculiar people, man. So that's the Lord that said that through Moses, Deuteronomy 26:18. And the Lord have avouched thee this day to be his peculiar people, as he hath promised thee, and that thou shouldest keep all his commandments, man. See that? So that goes into what? Like Paul said, purifying himself a peculiar people, man. All right. So Paul quoted the peculiar people to Titus, man. He wrote a letter to him and said that the Lord Yahweh shot. And then what's crazy is Paul said that Lord Yahweh Shai gave himself to purify us, man. So that's heavy, man. God was manifested in the flesh. All right. What it says, Titus 2 and 13, man. Looking for that blessed hope and the glorious appearing of the great God and our Savior, Jesus Christ, Mashiach Yahushua. See that? He's called the great God. Okay? The great God. Hey, big God. Okay? Who gave himself for us, right? Like it's written in Zechariah, that the Lord was what? What it says in Zechariah, he was pierced, man. Even in Zechariah. Okay? He gave himself for us. Well, that he might redeem us from all iniquity, right? Redeem us from all our shortcomings in the laws and commandments and covenant. And purify, right, to make you holy, unto himself a peculiar people, zealous of good works, right? So the peculiar people, that always started back since the days of Moses, man. Deuteronomy 14 and 2, Deuteronomy 26 and 18, man. And it's in the book of Psalms.